Hello, so today we are going to be working on one of our pull movements. As you can probably guess, pull is one of the universal movements, and just like push, there are multiple ways that we can pull. We can pull horizontally, so if you can't see me do that anyway, like pull horizontally. So if you think about like any kind of row, doing a row machine, um, that's your row, pulling something towards your chest, right? That's a horizontal pull, okay? But we can also pull things up, right? So these are called upright rows, okay? And then I'm working in a small space, but that means you can too. And then we have this kind of pull, okay? So this, if you think about it, it really is a pull down. Okay, we're pulling something down. However, the most famous of these movements is called a pull up, which clearly differs from this movement. So, we're actually going to work on pull ups. Pull ups are absolutely something women can develop. I love pull ups. I didn't always have them. It took me about 6 months of dedicated work to get them, but they are such an important movement for you to have, and they are definitely within the realm of possibility as long as there aren't any injuries or, skeletal issues that have been diagnosed. If there have been, please make sure you work with a PT or a doctor to develop these muscles safely. Okay, this is for people who are generally healthy and who can indeed pull down. So let's get started. So we're going to be using the pull-up bar again, only this time we're going to be using it for what it's actually for, I guess. Instead of doing the push-up, we're actually going to use it to train pull-ups. This is my favorite way to train pull-ups. Can you do ring rows? Yes, but probably not in your house. That's kind of a CrossFit thing now that I think about it. But you can do pull downs, and that's fine and dandy. But if you are looking to build your lats, right, your big back muscles back here, and you really want to put on some muscle mass and you want to put on some strength, you need to train the pull up, okay? And if you want pull ups, you're going to have to train the pull up. So I'm going to show you a great way to start doing that. My favorite and most used modification for pull up is the kneeling pull up, and you need a pull up bar that extends out because you gradually move this, kind of like we did in the push up. But to start out, you are going to set the pull up bar to such a height that if you're on your knees and you reach up, your wrists are in contact with the bar and your hands are above it. Okay. Then you are going to wrap your hands around the bar. When I say wrap, I mean thumbs as well. A lot of times people will keep all of their fingers on the top of the bar. That is called suicide grip for a reason. Let's not practice that. So go ahead, wrap your hands around, and you want them either shoulder width apart or slightly out. I tend to go slightly out. And you're going to just tuck your toes underneath you and bring your butt closer to your heels. So at first you're in a very tall kneeling position, and then you just lower a little bit. Now, you're going to scoot yourself right underneath the bar. If you're too far back from the bar, this will probably hurt your back. If you're too far forward of the bar, it will hurt your shoulders. So get right underneath the bar, and then you're going to initiate the pull, and you're going to assist yourself with your legs until you get your chin over the bar, and then you lower yourself. In general, I recommend being able to do 10 reps at whatever height, usually 3 sets of 10 at whatever height. And then once you can accomplish that, then it's time to move the bar up. As you begin to move the bar up, you get less and less assistance from your legs, and your upper body develops. So while the kneeling modification works for most people, there are certain people it doesn't work for, and that's okay. There are other modifications. So I'm going to show you the second modification that uses a pull-up bar, and in later videos I'll show you some other pulling variations that you can utilize if this doesn't work for you either. So we're gonna go ahead and you're gonna set it up so that if you're sitting on your bum and you have your hands up, you can comfortably wrap your hands around the bar. There's a slight bend in the arms, they're not locked out. So you're in a pretty comfortable position here, and you are going to be leaning back. So this is going to be different than the kneeling modification because the way you're sitting is going to force you to be back from the bar. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to instigate that pull, okay? But now you're in a position where it may be easier for you to use those legs to bring your body up and then bring it down. So you can also utilize that modification. And again, I would say you're looking for 10 reps and then increase the height of the bar. At some point, the bar is going to get so high that you can't sit and reach it. And that's when you're going to have to move to kneeling. If you get there and you're like, hey, kneeling doesn't work either, best thing to do is contact me for a little bit of troubleshooting help.